Hello, welcome one more time to this cozy space. I am Smolvo and this is a video about travel journaling. As you can see, I have some different journals to show you because I've tried different ways of travel journaling on different trips. But let's start with this one. This is the first one I used, and in my opinion, it's the most basic way of travel journaling. This is a Midori MD paper, A6 size, that I bought for my first trip to Japan. It just consisted in writing down what I did each day and then using some scraps or stickers to decorate the pages. It's so easy, not really pressure about when or how to do it. Just sit down and fill up the pages with your highlights or the things you just want to remember about each day. As you can see, it's a very simple thing. If you go to my early post on Instagram, you can see I posted a completely different journal about this same trip, but this one I filled it up after coming back to Spain, printing pictures, using more stationery and scraps of the trip, and most important thing, using this first journal as a reference to know what I did each day. I will show you briefly. Actually, I took this journal with me to Japan, but I didn't use it only for these pages because I started this journal like 2 years before the trip, and I was very inspired by Rainbow Holic, so I felt like this journal had to go with me and go to Rainbow Holic coffee as I did, and even if it's a little bit, but make a small spread there. It was like a dream come true, and I did it. I also collected some stamps there, like this and this, and this one as well. But all the other things, I did them after returning home. And as you can see, this is a very, very decorated thing. Not writing at all, only just like a visual diary of this travel. It's so worth it. For me, it was so worth it to do it because it's beautiful. I love how it turned out. And it's a good way to remember the trip more visually. And if I want to read it, I can always read this one. I need to say that it's not necessary to do it like this. You can just have one journal and use it only during the trip. There's no rules about travel journaling, but I do it this way because I love the process of journaling after the trip, and it feels like reliving all the days again, and the result is so satisfying for me to look at. A very important thing about travel journaling is that you won't have as much time to journal as you think. You will be most of the time enjoying the moment because this is what you do in a trip. So it's not strange that you miss some pages. For this journal, sometimes I would just sit down after the day was over, write a small text about what I did, and then stick things inside. But a lot of days I just forgot, or maybe I was too tired to do it. So it's not strange that sometimes you have to fill up the previous 3 days one night because maybe you forgot to do it before. It's totally okay. For me, I just did it when I felt like it. Maybe some days I forced myself a bit because I thought, okay, it's been 3 days. If I don't do it now, maybe I will forget some things. So, but yes, I didn't put pressure on myself to do it. Now, the second time I traveled with the intention of journaling during that travel, I already discovered Traveler's Company and I brought this with me. With this cover, okay. This time I also brought the Midori journal and I did a similar thing, writing down what I did each day and then sticking things related to that day. But this time I also left some blank pages to print pictures after returning home. But in the Travelers, I did a different thing. I started also filling it with junk and scraps as a guide to which pages I wanted to use for each day. So for example, this page, it only had this paper moon books thing because this was a sticker that someone gave me after purchasing some postcards or something like that. And then this, it was a washi tape because I stayed at a friend's house and we made a small stationery swap. And she gave me this and I stick it here, but all the rest of things, oh, maybe this was also already, but all the other things I did it after returning home. Same with these pages. For these pages, I remember I only stick this white and pink thing and this because this was the envelope of something I bought, and yeah, this was my way of knowing that this is about this day. Or this page, for example, I only stick this inside. This was a piece of a newspaper, and this is the same place that I visited, but this picture I printed after. Everything else I did after. I collected also some stamps, so it was also a way to have a reference. And I also like the result a lot, the final result. And last, I will show you how I did it on this last trip to Japan. Okay, so for this one I brought too much stuff because I had this new journal gifted by a friend and I was saving it for the trip, but I also didn't want to leave my other journals behind, which is a bit silly now that I think about it. And also a friend gifted me this one just before I went on to Japan, and he bought it in Japan as well at the Osaka Expo, which I couldn't go because it was over when I arrived. But my friend bought this for me and he took the time to collect some stamps of the expo, which was so sweet, and I wanted to fill this notebook with more stamps. I did it. I collected some of them. I also made some some silly drawings, but mostly I used this notebook to collect stamps. But I would only have this with me if I knew for sure that I was going to find a stamp. So some others I just collected them inside of this one, because this one I took with me everywhere because it's very small and convenient. Of course, I didn't put pressure on myself to fill up everything because that would have been crazy. But it's true that I was staying there for 20 days and I thought it was a long time, so I wanted to have different sizes in case I wanted to switch. I took this one with me as well because I wanted to finish the journal, but I think it will stay like this because I only use it for like 4 days and then I completely forgot about it because I was more focused on other things. I also brought this one with me. I didn't journal here at all, but it was so useful anyway because I ended up using it to storage things inside, like all of this. And then I bought this insert which is blank, only with a few stamps. If I found something I wanted to save, this is a perfect size for this kind of tourist things, you know. I think they made it on purpose with this size. I also use it for leaves, not only paper. And then this insert, which is a watercolor paper one, I ended up using it a bit for some drawings and more stuff here at the end. But this is the main journal I used and I will show you. I used it in a similar way to this one, sticking things inside to remember each day. Some pages I filled them up in the day, like this one I did this in a park. Also collected some stamps here when I didn't have these with me. Also at the beginning of the trip I was journaling more, but the most time passed, the less I journal, because for example I left these blank pages because I want to draw something here and I wrote what I want to draw so I don't forget. This stamp was a failure because it's this same one, but I had this under the insert. It was like this, okay? I didn't took the insert out to stamp, and that's a big mistake because I ended up with some blank parts here and I fixed it sticking this. What I had to do is take this out and just stamp it on a flat surface with nothing under, so now it's good. I also love using pictures from magazines because I did this on a very rainy day at this town, and of course you couldn't see Mount Fuji because all the clouds were hiding it, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see it. So I used this this picture, and then the next day the sky was clear and I was able to see it, but just I already have this. I like this picture a lot. Also, if you like drawing, it's so cool to sit down and do it on random places. For example, this one, I did it in, I was doing a hike and all was filled with these beautiful lamps. So I sat down for a while and just draw it. A lot of blank pages, as you can see, which I will fill up soon. The journal gets more messy the, the further you go, but I still love it. So as long as I enjoyed the journaling part of this trip a lot, in the future I don't think I will be carrying a lot of journals with me. I will try to use only one, even if it's super messy and mixed stuff, but I want to try it and yeah, see what comes out of this. So now to finish this video, I want to give you 4 advices based on what I learned with travel journaling. The first one is record what you did each day. It doesn't matter if you want to journal during the trip, after the trip, or both. You need to remember what you want to remember, because some details you will forget about them sooner than you think. And you will be happy that you wrote it down, took a picture, took a video, or maybe a note on your phone. You can do it however you want, but it's very important. Second advice is collect things that you like. You don't need to save every receipt, every envelope, but if there's something that you like visually or it represents some good memory for you, please keep it, because you can use it to decorate your pages and it will make an important part of this memory. Third advice is don't bring too much stuff with you. A journal, maybe 2 of them if you want to use them for different things, is enough. You will want to have empty space in your backpack for other things like camera or things you buy during the day. So it makes no sense to have it filled up with notebooks, art materials, or stationery that you may not use. A notebook and a pen are enough to carry with you everywhere, maybe also some glue. Fourth advice, and the most important one, is don't put pressure on yourself. This is something that is meant to be enjoyed. If you stress over the journal, you won't enjoy the trip as much as you can, so please be aware that you don't need to journal every day if you don't feel like it. This is just for fun. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you if you want to start travel journaling. Of course, again, this is just my experience and there's infinite ways of doing it, so take the time to find what works for you. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.